Welcome to 10 Days to Your Most Authentic Self. I'm Esther. The reason I'm doing this podcast series is because, one, I'm celebrating 100 episodes of Esther's Universe. So thank you. I know, I'm so excited. And two, because I have a very strong intuitive push. The energy from the universe is coming through me to encourage people to express themselves. I have the strongest urge inside me to cheer on any person who has the slightest little inkling of wanting to start a podcast or start sharing on social media or just do more community events or something like that. And you know that you need to be okay with being seen to do these things because you've got this little feeling that you want to do it. And you're on your, spiritual awakening journey, your intuition and all of that. And you're manifesting the life that you want and stuff. And so on this journey, you are aware that your most authentic frequency is the place that you want to be because that's where everything that you want lives. So you're on the spiritual awakening journey is essentially the journey to your most authentic self. The more of us that can express ourselves and be seen and, be open in our authenticity, the more connection will form across the world again. And that's a really important thing in times like this when we're in pretty much a climate crisis now. One of our temperature peaks has been hit and we need to slow down and reassess as a species. This has gotten actually out of hand. You know what? We'll do that another episode. Different time. Not in this series. Let's get back to the point. Dialing it back from, fixing the world and healing the planet and shifting into a more balanced society where we all have a beautiful work-life balance and actually can enjoy our lives and everything. If we come back a few steps from that really big picture, what we have is a bunch of individuals who are compassionate with each other and with themselves and who are going on their journey of authenticity, because when you do that, you start to connect in with yourself so much. And the more you connect in with yourself, the more you inherently can connect in with others. And you become very compassionate. You have a lot of information that you can draw from when you're in everyday situations. So you don't feel very judgmental or anything like that. And because you're well, I've been through this. You can put yourself in everyone's shoes. It doesn't matter how different the experience is. Once you get to the core of who you are, you understand all of the human emotions. Our human emotions are basically at the core of it on an energetic level, the same frequencies. And so once you understand what these frequencies feel like, these energetic states of being, you understand them no matter what context brought them about. So you can understand other people so deeply when you are in your authenticity, or when you practice being in your authenticity, when you practice allowing yourself to be seen by you and loved by you, and allowing that to be then seen by everyone else, whether or not they love it, because you love it. That's the whole point. Anyway, so then when we're all expressing ourselves and being authentic, we're going to connect. And when we connect, we get that outcome. And when we get that outcome, we get everyone healing and being compassionate and growing together in the same kind of direction instead of just being against each other all the time. And then that's when big collective change starts to happen. But the planet will start healing it's already healing. Everyone who is healing themselves is healing the planet. So that's why this is important to me. That's why my podcast course is important to me. It goes really deep. The whole purpose of doing this is really fucking deep for me. There's so much more to it I'm not even going to get into right now. I really care about the world and I really care about you. And this is a particular area of it that I am passionate about, that I have skills in, that I'm listen up, I'm passing them on. The spiritual development journey, I am a fucking master of that. And I don't mean that from a way of ego trying to make you think I'm something that I'm not. I just genuinely see and value myself so much. And I'm holy fuck, let this out. Give it to people right now. Anyway, the thing I wanted to actually talk to you in today's episode was about age and relevance and feeling like you're not allowed to do things past a certain age, and feeling like you need to rush into things because you're worried if you don't do them by a certain age, then there's something wrong with you. which kind of leads people to live outside of their authenticity a lot. The thing that's coming to mind as probably the most common example is like relationships and marriage for women particularly, because throughout the last like 3,000 years we've been made to believe that our only value is in our looks, when evolution actually says otherwise. Evolution says that women are extremely valuable for our wisdom, because we are the way that we can pass on so much knowledge so efficiently and connection, and help our actual species evolve and ascend. So we are super fucking valuable, and we get better with age, actually. That's literally a scientific thing. Look it up. We have this menopause thing in common with whales, because childbirth was so deadly for us only until really recently, when, you know, we can just go to hospital and have a baby. And so childbirth can kill us really easily, only up until recently. Now it doesn't. It's super, super safe. Women have menopause to stop us from having babies, which could easily kill us. And then we have like decades of life left where we can pass on wisdom throughout the community. Evolution literally was like, no babe, stop doing this thing. I need you to focus on sharing what you know and keep doing it as you go, right? So it's like, you are a valuable, powerful, smart person, whether you're a woman or a man, doesn't matter. That is all true. But like women, you know, we've had this thing told to us again and again and again and again. Is like, you know, you have to be young, you have to look young, and that your only value is in your beauty. So it's like pretty drummed into us to need to find a man or whatever, if you're straight, obviously. But even just a person, like if whatever your orientation is, like we have this thing where it's like, quick, find a person, lock it down with them, make babies, procreate, all that. But we have it, you know, in this societal agreement that is made up, that if you are married later in life, like that's bad. Or if you don't have kids, that's bad, or whatever. So, or if you're single for like ages, that's bad, whatever. Like that's not true, those things are not bad. But there's this draw inside of us to go toward, you know, rushing into marriage and staying in relationships that we're not happy in, because society freaks out if a woman decides to be single and happy, God forbid, or she doesn't have children. You know what I mean? It's wild. So then you end up with like a lot of people out there in relationships that are really not serving them anymore, but they are so afraid to leave them and follow what would feel more authentic to themselves, because they fear starting again, they fear losing everything, they fear society's judgment on them for getting divorced or breaking up and being single. They fear not having kids. You know, like there's all these things that we try and control in our lives out of fear of the unknown and of change, because we don't know any better. And it's almost like we just need someone to come along and be like, hey, actually it's fine, like you're going to be okay. If you want to start your whole life again, you can. There, you know, like, and let go of control of the having babies thing. Like if you want to have babies, set the intention to have babies and have your heart open, work on all of the things, you know, that might block you from loving yourself, so that you can fully love yourself, and that way that you can then love someone else fully, and you can accept their love fully, and you can love each other without judgment and stuff like that. Really, really healthy relationship stuff. Like set the intention to work toward that, and that you want to have babies and stuff. And you have the power to create that reality for the most part, right? Like unless like the greater universe mind has a, you know, that version of you has actually got different sights set for you that, you know, you're trying to will yourself toward, that kind of thing. Like maybe instead of creating a human, you're going to create a massive movement, and you wouldn't be able to do that if you had, you know, well, you would. It's not to say that someone with kids can't start a fucking massive movement. Not saying that, but it would be very fucking different, you know, for whatever reason. So who knows what journey you would go on with that, and why it would have to be without kids or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm not saying that you're not going to have kids. If you want to have kids, relax. We're manifesting babies. I'm not. Fuck that. Christ almighty. I've had one. If you're new here, I have a teenage son. I had him when I was a teenager. But I do not want any more because I'm busy starting a movement. It would be super counterproductive for me. I never want to have any more. I'm good. I'm done. I just want to like do whatever I want now because I've been rearing my kids since I was a kid. So we're both like, he's going to move overseas. I'm going to fucking travel at the end of this year. We're just boots. Off to live. We raised each other this whole time. Anyway, oh my God, so off track. So you need to look at areas of your life where you might be living out of alignment due to fear of change or judgment, okay? Because to be in your most authentic expression of yourself, there are going to be times when you're going to need to make choices that might be difficult to make and might have, you know, a ripple-on effect that's a bit uncomfortable for a while. But, you know, you make the choice knowing that you're going to stay really present with yourself through the journey and that you're very aware that when you're feeling quote unquote down or when things are hard, you're actually just learning how to get through. Like you're learning how to regulate your nervous system, calm your anxiety, step into trust and surrender, feel into your intuition. What is it that you need to do? Take the aligned action, that kind of thing. Like whenever you have these setbacks, they're actually just setups. They're setting you up. So you stay present with that and you're like, okay, cool. I can make these changes and I can get through the, you know, what happens after I make that decision. And then you can come to a place of feeling like, you know, stable again. And you can look back over everything you just learned and you're like, wow, I have wisdom from that now. And you can alchemize it, like integrate it into your life, understand all the different angles of it, pass it on to other people, share your wisdom, that kind of thing. But when you are really, truly real with yourself and you go, okay, I am not happy in this job, but I'm too afraid that I'm too old to start again. You're not too old to start again. You can do whatever you want. If you want to go back to uni and you're like 60, slay. Why wouldn't you? There's still so many fucking decades of your life left. Like, why wouldn't you do that? I don't really have any desire to go to uni or anything like that, but you get it. If you have a massive corporate career or a business that's successful and you're done with it, like for sure, look into all the other ways. Like maybe you want to sell the business or whatever, or you want to, you know, work your way out of it so someone else can be the CEO of it, but you still own it, like whatever. Like look into your own shit. I'm not your mum, figure it out. But when you want to make a change, like even if it seems really big and scary and really late in life, it's always manageable. You can get out of your business. You can get out of that career that you don't have an interest in anymore, even if you just went to uni and studied that whole fucking thing and it turns out you don't want to do it anymore. That's okay. It's not for nothing. Trust me. Trust me. It will make so much sense down the line why you studied that thing you seemingly are now walking away from entirely. It comes back somehow. Some part of it, you'll be like, this is why I did it. So you got to like not judge yourself, right? And don't limit yourself with this idea that you're too old to do anything. Your brain only finished forming at like 30. And if you're not even 30 yet and you're in your 20s and you're freaking out like you need to get married and figure your life out, fuck off. No, you don't. You have so much time. And I'm not saying it in a way of like, you know, yeah, lay down, do whatever you want, like do nothing. No, don't do nothing. Go out and fucking live. Figure shit out, try shit, fail it, like everything. Fail it as much as you can in your 20s. Honestly. Try all kinds of fucking careers that, you know, you, like imagine, okay, so when you're in your 20s, for the most part, you don't really have a lot of things tying you to you know, anything. You can fuck up so much. Later in life, it's not that you can't fuck up anymore and you have to be really secure and stable and all that. It's just that we take on more responsibilities and there's more to juggle, but it's always changeable. You don't have to, like you're the stability. You and your trust in yourself is your stability. You want a stable root chakra? Trust yourself. You want to trust yourself? Constantly remind yourself of the times that you've had your own back in every fucking situation and how you're in a better place now than you were then and better than you were then, before that, you know what I mean? Like, you just keep evolving. You keep going. You're the universe helping you. You trust yourself. You always get yourself out of trouble. You always show yourself in another way how amazing you are and what you're made of. It's not too late to start a podcast. It's not too late to start talking on social media and creating a personal brand and getting yourself out there. I really don't care if you're like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. I don't care. It's not too late. And if that's your excuse, it's a fucking cop-out. Okay, so your mission for today and from now on to practice this new thing, I want you to start looking at areas of your life where you might not be in your most authentic expression of yourself, okay? Your life is your self-expression, okay? So when you're in a situation, think of that as you expressing yourself, and am I expressing myself authentically or not? Am I doing something that I want to do? Or does this kind of like low-key drain me or hurt me in some way? Or am I just like over it? Or does it just not light me on fire anymore? That's okay too, you know? Things don't have to be bad. If they're not making you so fucking horny for life, then, I mean, not everything has to fucking make you scream, but the big things, I really do think that you should love what you do. You should definitely feel a lot of like love for your partner and energized by them, not drained by them. You should have time where you spend time alone in your life, and time where you spend time with people, and time when you are creating just for yourself, and, you know, time to like work on your life in any area of it. And when you can look at these areas of your life and think to yourself, am I in an authentic expression of myself right now or in this chapter? And the answer is no. I want you to honestly look at the situation and just dabble in the idea of what if you made a change. But you don't even need to commit to the change yet. You don't need to know what you would do. If you're like, I have no idea what I would do, that's okay. Just like set the intention to be like, if I did change this area of my life to be more in alignment with my authentic self, what would the possible repercussions be? And I want you to understand that there's going to be two sides to it, right? So some things could be uncomfortable, but then also I want you to look for the parts that could be amazing. Remember that because you're on this evolutionary journey and you are trying to bring in a better life for yourself, you're always moving forward. So even when things suddenly feel hard sometimes, that does not mean you have stopped or started moving backwards. Okay? If you're always open to taking the steps that are necessary for you to feel aligned with yourself, then you're always going to end up in a place that will just keep getting better and better and better and better. Okay? Now, join the waitlist for the course on starting a podcast, but doing it in a way where it's in alignment with your spiritual journey and your, you know, personal evolution and your authenticity and speaking your truth and becoming very magnetic. So I'm passing on all of my wisdom that I've gained over these 100 episodes of Esther's Universe and of the journey that I went through to arrive in my frequencies of authenticity and in such a beautiful place of alignment and trust in myself. And like, I'm so excited for the expansion of my next chapter, you know what I mean? Like, I've made this massive jump over the last couple of years, and I'm so excited to pass everything on to everybody else and to keep learning, to keep sharing as I keep learning to expand myself even further and further and further into the world. So if you want to be a part of that course, the first 1,000 people are getting 50% off, and then after that it's going to be up to full price. And it's a 10-day course. It's self-paced, so you don't need to do it in 10 days, but you can do it in 10 days. So you can literally have a podcast ready to go that you feel confident and excited about in 10 days. So exciting. Anyway, waitlist, show notes, find that there. And then if you want, you can just check me out on my socials at Esthers_universe. And I think that's all I wanted to say. See you tomorrow in the next episode. Love you.